So we're still taking a look at the state of the economy away from commodities now, taking a look at the new economic recovery growth plan that was unveiled by the federal government about 48 hours ago. We're tying it in now, of course, to the markets and being joined on the program by Philip Anigbe, who is an investment analyst with ARM Securities. Philip, good morning. It's great to have you on the show.
Yeah, good morning. Thank you very much.
So taking a look at the plan, because I'm very sure ARM Securities analysts would have looked at it with a fine-tooth comb. What's in the plan for the markets? Did you notice?
Yeah, the plan essentially, they're looking to actually reflect the economy. I think that's the first part. We've seen the economy being in a contraction over the past 1 year. And they're also looking to make the markets more competitive, as well as invest in people. So I think these are the broad objectives of the plan. And of course, you have focus areas, talking about macroeconomic stability, trying to invest in energy, to improve energy supply, as well as looking at ensuring food security, talking about investment in transportation, of course, encouraging small and medium scale businesses. I think for the market, it's good to know that the government is thinking in this direction because it's a right step in the right direction. But a lot will, of course, depend on how well they implement the policies, because like so many other growth plans we've seen, they are always very good on paper, but when it comes to implementation, we run into one or two problems.
Talking about macroeconomic stability now, some of the issues that, of course, investors, and most of them have actually priced this in, talking about inflation, talking about the currency stability, FX issues, and the rest of it. What do you make of them?
Now, you look at the plans for monetary policy. They are looking at policies that will actually encourage growth, but at the same time, keeping a tight lead on inflation. For inflation, the expectation is that they will hit single-digit growth, single-digit inflation by 2020. This looks a bit realistic, given that we are coming from a very high base in 2016. So for us, we expect inflation to actually come down sizably or moderate sizably in 2017, essentially. So hitting that single-digit growth, single-digit inflation in 2020 may be realistic. Then for growth, they've actually outlined the different deficiencies or drawbacks for growth in the economy. Energy was one of them. So they identified energy, talking about trying to boost energy supply. Also looking at the issue of crude production. They're planning to do about 2.2 million barrels in the current year and 2.5 million barrels by the end of 2020. So you see that essentially will sizably impact economic performance. And the fallout, of course, will be positive for likes of oil and gas industry and the consumer goods space.
That's on the equity space now. But how does this tie into the capital market plan? Because you know the Securities and Exchange Commission has rolled out a 10-year plan to see how the market can actually help to grow the economy in partnership with the federal government. Does this actually, looking at the growth recovery plan and looking at the capital market plan, does it look like it can work?
Yeah, I think there are significant areas where it can achieve some progress on both fronts. I think for the capital market plan, they are looking to actually encourage liquidity in the capital markets, make the markets more functional. You see, if you go through the economic recovery and growth plan, you discover that government is actually looking to actually encourage a lot of foreign participation in our markets, as well as even advising states to actually take advantage of capital market. I think that's positive for liquidity for the capital markets. And you look at for individual stocks playing in the space, you discover that a lot of the issues affecting them are among those outlined by the ARGP plan. The energy, for instance, that affected a lot of businesses. You see many businesses actually suffer a lot of energy deficiencies. And of course, currency is a big part of it. You discover that currency have not done very well in 2016. A lot of companies experience sizable foreign exchange losses. So with the plan to actually allow markets to be more reflective of demand and supply dynamics, you may see that actually taper for these names.
So that also now brings us to your medium-term medium-term expectations, not expenditure, because it's a 3-year plan. And, well, most say that we wouldn't see any immediate reactions. But over the medium term, what are expectations?
Over the medium term, of course, like I said, expectations are going to really be around the positives that you may get for players in the oil and gas space, and maybe cement and construction, and of course, consumer goods. For the oil and gas space, you look that they may actually benefit from the plan to actually liberalize the upstream space in terms of allowing the government looking to actually sell some of its stake in joint ventures investments. And for the downstream, they are looking to actually cut down on PMS importation by about 60% in 2018. So that bodes well for them, essentially. So you expect some positive in the oil and gas space. And then you look at construction. When demand is rising, when stimulation is going up, you expect activities to actually kick up in construction space because it's highly cyclical. So it moves along, more or less moves in line with movements in GDP. Then consumables, of course, is tied to expected increase in consumption owing to the stimulation that government is looking to.
Well, Philip, thank you so much for coming on the program and sharing your perspectives with us.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Philip Anegbe is an investment analyst with ARM Securities. Business Morning continues after now. We're still talking about the new Economic Recovery Growth Plan. Stay with us.